2019.
Yo, it's your boy Q.
Hey y'all, it's Kiara.
And it's your boy Kelby, and we are Sunday Wine Podcast. So last week we had a little conversation. We got right into it last week. So we're gonna do the same again this week. We're gonna get right into it. So we're gonna start off, what we do. We're gonna pray a little bit, quick little prayer just to get us rolling.
Yes.
Cause that's our foundation, and then we're gonna go from there. So Lord, we just thank you for this day. We thank you for again allowing us to come together as family, Lord God, allowing us to just be united. We just thank you for all that you are in our lives, all that you do for us. We ask you to bless us and invest your anointing over their lives. And I'm gonna step back right now and let somebody else have it. So whoever wanted first, you got the flow.
I say ladies first.
Ladies first. Let's go.
I mean, I think it should always be like that, you know. So we be turning heads and stuff right here.
Yeah, y'all out of neck to turn the head. You know.
We did mention that last week, huh? Yes, we go in.
Communication. I'm just gonna go ahead and start off strong. From my perspective, if we are trying to communicate with my
She
husband,
looked
and
right at him. Boy, Lord, this about to be. Some fellas gonna get rough for today.
if we are trying to communicate, sometimes the conversation can go from 0 to 100 really, really quick. And I would say to you that I'm emotionally unavailable because I'm getting to a point where what I say, I might have to start apologizing for.
Oh Lord.
No, sometimes you can be
But,
so mad.
yeah, you can be so
just talk out
mad.
emotions,
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't want to talk out emotions. I
Right.
want
'Cause
to
then
talk.
You regret something later.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't want to have to go back and apologize. So I'm emotionally unavailable. And I feel that once I put that disclaimer out, now everything you say after that, I done gave you a disclaimer, that's on you. So you're going to have to proceed with precautions.
I like that though. I like that perspective because I mean, if I communicated to you like, okay, babe, like, look, I'm already on edge. Like, don't test me right now because I don't know what I might say out my mouth. Like, you should automatically don't push that button. But this man right here, he'll push that button. He'll probably try it.
Y'all,
I mean,
we in abusive relationships
Right.
around here.
What? No, it's not.
Like,
It's
give
not.
it-
I'm joking.
Like, we are very emotional beings, first of all. So sometimes, like, we just be talking out of emotion. So it might have been something that happened a long time ago. We probably already done got past it. And then we done brought it up again. And then we bring fuel to the fire. And it had nothing to do with even the conversation that we're having right now. But because now we're bringing it back up, or we are kind of digressing in a negative way, it's gonna rub y'all wrong. I mean, I know men get over things a lot faster than we do, but we kind of hold on to things.
I just think it wasn't addressed completely. If we had to go back and revisit it, that means that the conversation really didn't end, but we just had to end it because of their emotions or whatever they're going through at that moment. So I think that if I have to circle back, that means I put what I had on hold for a little minute. I'm gonna give you time to collect yourself because it's a study that shows that women talk a whole lot more than what men. So sometimes their words are just it by the time our conversation.
Clearly, they talking a lot right now. We gave them the flow.
Give them that. They got it.
Yeah.
I'll tell ladies first, so we can go in. We're going to talk about it.
Okay, so let me ask you.
Set that expectation. Like, it's so important to set expectations in a relationship, whether it's a friend or a boyfriend, girlfriend, or marriage. Because, like, if I set the expectation that, you know, this is the boundary. If you cross that boundary, I don't know what might be coming your way. Then, you know, you should be able to respect that because that's the expectation I already set forth. So whatever may come after that, that's on you. You might be taking a blow because you just stepped over that boundary. You done crossed that electric.
How do we know what the electric fence is? Because it's almost like, you know how like right now, Mr. T is chilling right now. So we're grateful for that.
Said his name.
But the thing about it is y'all see these commercials nowadays with the dogs and they talk about they got this invisible fence where it knows not to cross.
They got invisible fence.
They got an invisible fence
and
that
we don't
come close to the fence.
We wrong.
And if we,
because we have to be able to communicate what exactly that fence is. We have to be able to communicate as far as like what's going to push my buttons or something that might have happened before, and then now I'm emotionally, invested in that. So if you kind of push that button, then that's on you because I done already communicated to you how I feel.
All right, so let me since they took it there already, just went in.
You gotta go strong.
They went strong. They aggressive. Let me just ask this question: as a husband, or as husbands, since we are being attacked at the moment.
We're not attacking you.
That's what we feel like. So,
what? Well, why?
What we said versus what y'all heard. Like,
yes.
That's communication right now.
Why do you feel? Because sometimes we have to start conversations. Some conversations is going to be harder than others to talk about.
Right.
Okay.
This is one of those hard conversations.
So let me ask this. So if there are boundaries that we are not to cross, is that what I heard?
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's what I heard.
As your spouse or as your husband or as your fiance or girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever the case may be, if we cannot talk about anything or whatever comes up at that moment, so are we saying that women can't control their emotions to a point where we can have a conversation?
Sometimes it takes time. Sometimes, like, especially if it's something that is very heavy to us.
Okay.
Like, sometimes it takes us a moment to kind of like digress, like take a breather. Maybe we may not talk about it right now, but we're gonna talk about it. I need to process my thoughts, and I do this a lot with you because sometimes I do need to process what I'm about to say before I say it because I don't want it to come out wrong because it might be a touchy subject.
It's almost like misreading text messages. When you send text messages and you have a whole conversation, then it's like, that's not what I'm even saying in the text message. Like, you completely got it all wrong. So if we respond to you all out of that thought process, then like now you're not really getting what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Because you're going completely left at
So
this point.
as men, we don't think or we don't respond as emotional as women.
Y'all respond to fix things.
Listen, hold on.
Like,
we respond. Okay, so if we're logical thinkers and y'all are emotional or emotionally distraught at that moment, why can't you talk to us at that moment so that the logic can come in and calm your emotion down? So we carry this emotion for days or for however long you carry it because you felt like you needed to talk about it at that moment. But that man in your life could have been the one that brought you down from that emotional high that you were on at that moment. But you don't give us enough credit to do so because you say we can't handle what you're going to say. When and for real, we can handle it.
I think it depends.
Like what we don't want.
Can we? I mean, I guess the cat out the bag right now. So we're going to say it. But truth is, they can't handle what we respond on
what
back
the response
to.
gonna be.
Right, because when we respond back, it's relevant, right?
Right.
It's logical,
right,
and it makes sense.
But
it ain't what they want to hear.
It ain't what they want to hear. They want us to be emotional with them.
Nah, they want us to pat them on their back and say, you know what, I understand and stuff like that. And sometimes you have to do that.
No, that's what I have like girlfriends for. They because
sometimes I'm like that though. I am like that because like even when
and I'm not like that.
Yeah, he's not like that at all. Like because even when we was going through something during Christmas time and I was in a state of like really depressed. I ain't gonna say it was depression. I was at a really dark space.
She brought it up. I'm gonna tell you why I was hot.
Yeah.
Let's just keep it. We're gonna keep it a stack. We talk about communication.
It was.
So
I communicated
the lack of communication was, or where I felt like it was a lack of communication. So my wife is at home, and she's then I get phone. Then you talking about? So she done posted on. What's going on? State.
It should have been your husband.
Should have been your husband.
Well,
I don't think when you
you be really
no.
Women not like that.
I like affection. correction and stuff like that.
Right.
So if I'm saying that you can't come, my husband, if he tell me something, you good? I'm like, well, I ain't one of your dudes in the street. You know, talk to me, be kind to me, be soft with me.
Yes.
Maybe, and I will open up, and I'm like, if you come to me, babe, I just see that, you know, you got something going on your face and stuff like that, and you know, babe, you know what's up? Like
you
know,
talk to,
yeah,
and I feel
you
like
know,
the communication back and forth would be a little more soft.
Now we're not trying to make y'all mushy and stuff like
Yes,
that.
you are.
No, we're not. It
But
just,
I feel like the way you talk to other people shouldn't be the same way you talk
to your wife,
right? At all.
It should
Like,
not. I always tell him, you're not talking to one of your dudes. Don't be combative with me. Do not be aggressive with me.
Right.
I'm your wife.
Right.
But
I come right there on your chest right here. So don't you look down at me and say, you good? What's wrong? No.
Right.
Now I'm going to put my defense up because I'm like,
Yeah.
well, then he don't really want to know if I'm feeling some kind of way or
I hear
not.
you.
already, like, it's almost like your chest is already out, and it's not like, okay, let me just relax.
I mean, wouldn't it be easier for you just to tell us
That's all I'm asking.
versus us trying to play? Look, man.
all I
We
want.
just tell us exactly what it is versus us playing. We're not playing clues or we're not playing charades.
Right.
I feel like
That's
we
all.
playing charades. Are you okay? Yeah. Well, okay. Well, I'm gonna go chill. But then if I
You can almost hear it in the response, can't you?
right,
Yes,
but
if we, so what are we supposed to say? Oh, no, you're not okay. What's wrong? I'm good. No, you're not good. What's really bothering you?
Because
I'm all right.
But you hear how you're
All right.
talking though.
All
Like
right.
you hear how like
Yeah.
your response is automatically. It's almost like almost like.
Because you're lying.
It's strong.
Tell me what's wrong.
But don't
That's
be
all
so
I need.
But the thing about it is women have a pattern. So we ain't just felt like that just that hour, just that minute. That some could have been going on a couple of days ago. Now we building.
Right,
so
that's
now
what I
we at
said.
a point.
I asked you one day and 3 days later
But
it
I'm
still bothers you,
saying-
but you ain't told me yet.
If I'm out of my norm, why not recognize me being out of my
I
norm?
do.
Right.
You know when we asked you, we recognize it. That's the point of us asking.
Like
Because we recognize that something is not right.
Yeah.
I
But
recognize
that's probably
something
been
is
days
not.
later. That
No,
shit-
it could be the
Yeah.
day that it happens. I'm like, baby, you all right? What's wrong? Nothing. Okay.
I think it also.
How should I know? So now, this is what the man thinking when you say I'm all right.
Yeah.
Lord, man, what in the world did I do? I ain't even. So
Exactly.
now I got to go in defense mode. So I ain't gonna keep like, because now we in defense mode. Like, Lord have mercy. So we're thinking like, what? Okay, we done ran our whole month week. Like, what in the world I did this? What in the world do that? That's what we doing.
Internally.
Internally, we thinking like, what in the devil happened between when I left and when I got back home?
and then when you figure out, and then when you tell
But
us,
then
and we
you
be like,
playing victim.
Like, really? That's what it was. All this time.
I feel like you're playing victim. I tell my husband that all the time.
Oh my God.
Don't because it's not about you. It's not. Here's the thing.
It's not. That's why we
I
ask.
think that it also depends on the time he just getting out. So, but
Stop saying you're good.
If-
Stop discrediting men.
I'm
Stop
just
saying
saying
that
it
you're good.
just-
Listen, women,
it depends
whoever's listening,
on-
to all that are online, let's what it does as women is to say I to be. We are there. We will make a sacrifice wrong with you. And then when it's time for you to talk about it, then you know when y'all ready to talk about it? The worst times. When they're it's available when we ask you. It's not that hard, and I get it. I'm not trying to say that men are always right, and we are like, yeah, okay. Do we need to be softer in our approach at times? Then I agree, absolutely, and I'm working on it. But don't let, and then again, when you say, "Oh, you too soft, you ain't protecting me," now you not we masculine.
No.
We get.
I don't think we would ever have that standard of feeling like y'all are too like
No.
soft. Like
to us, you won't. To your girls, we are.
because like that,
No,
that,
what?
that space
No.
of vulnerability and
Yeah.
that emotional side of you, it's between us. It's
Yeah.
not like you displaying that to the world because you're gonna still be who you are. But
Yeah.
at
Yeah,
home,
absolutely.
Baby, like soften up just a little bit. I don't want you talking to me the same way you talk to the kids and everybody else, your boys and stuff. Like
And
I want you to be a little bit softer. That's all.
I get it, and no excuse for us men being how we are. But it's hard to have these multiple personalities and split decisions on when we're gonna be who we are. It's hard. Because like, listen, whether I'm at work, home, church, on a football field, and I have to learn how to differentiate where I am. But I am Kelby. What you see is what you get. From the day you met me to now, who I am is who I am, and I apologize if I hit you wrong. And I ain't scared to take credit for what, like, I need to work on that. I do. I get it. But again, when it comes to communication, men are readily available for their spouses, for their wives. We are readily available. I can promise you that. But you have to give us, I stop letting society steer, because there's a stereotype that the black men, I'm going to say it, are not available for their kids, for their wives, for this, that, for that. Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Y'all available to fix things. When I say
and guess who needs fixing the most?
Not the woman.
But it's just your approach.
Not
it's
the
like,
woman.
It's like the approach and the tone of the approach. It's like what can dictate how the conversation goes.
Right.
Talking no more.
But I think if you start the conversation, like prime example. If I'm working from home the same day, same time that my wife is working from home, I hear the entire day. From the moment she get on the phone to the moment she get off, maybe if I go to the gym, I don't hear the last bit of. Or if I am in the house, she comes over and asks me, "You're not gonna ask me how my day was?"
I saw your whole day.
I saw your whole day. I heard it. And when you hit the table, I know for a fact you got frustrated, so I'm gonna walk over there. Hey, are you okay?
You don't do that. You walk over there and you pat me on my shoulder. You walk and you do.
But,
and then you go about your
that's
business.
his way of checking on you.
That, and I accept that.
That's communication. That is communication.
So when he say, when I come in and no, because when you say when I come over there, let me get my words together. And I come over in your office and I say, well, baby, you want to know how my day is? So it made you only hear.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
He joking.
Finish working. He goes to the gym. And you are like my thing.
Yeah, I mean,
Is what you want for dinner? Da 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 da.
look in the store. Yo, did you get the chicken or not? What we? But
and that just sums it up. You know, y'all are very simple and we are very complex. But at the same time, we just kind of like to still talk about how we're feeling. And
which is fine.
Like, and just don't cut us off like you ain't even care what we had to say.
Yeah.
So here's my thing about it.
And I'm gonna say this after you say it. Let me write it down. Make sure
Well,
I
let me
don't forget.
rephrase it. We do care. I, for one, just don't want to play clues to figure out what it is. Right. Because the sooner you tell me, not to say I can move and get past it, but now we can deal with it.
We can help you get through it.
We can help deal with it. But now you want me to say, well, okay, well, how's it outside today? Well, it's warm. Well, is the sun shining? Yeah, the sun's shining. Or just tell me it is 75 degrees outside. You might want to go put some shorts on versus putting on long pants.
Well, and I'm glad you said that. I like our intentional talks. That's why I do miss our walks. Because we used to walk for about half an hour, 45 minutes in the evening. That gave us that opportunity where we didn't have any social media, nothing like that in front of us. And we were able to walk around the neighborhood and just speak to each other. You could elaborate a little bit on whatever you didn't want to speak about. And it may not be that you didn't want to speak about it, but you was like, oh, so-and-so happened today. Oh, really? What's going on with that? And then that's when you start talking about it. But if you are here in the house and we are trying to have just a simple conversation, your mind is already on what you could be doing within this amount of time.
If distractions are already in place.
Yes.
Well, I won't necessarily call them distractions. It was just like, it's almost like a form of multitasking. We're killing two birds at one time. We're spending time together, we're exercising together, and we eliminate distractions.
But I know, babe. I said that's good, but I'm just saying.
Well, it's been cold.
That's what. But you can still do date nights where we can intentionally making time so we can sit and we don't have to have no whole drawn out conversation and make a book or a novel out of it. But I'm just saying, just let me catch you up on the last few days because we could just be seeing each other in passing, even though we working from home together. our schedules are completely different.
That's really true.
So we can still have a moment to ourselves to say, okay, well, tonight, babe, what you got going on? Oh, nothing. You know, I get excited when we have our little date nights and stuff.
I mean, that's the part of like the communication and how you're able to communicate in those different levels. Because I mean, intentionally dating your spouse is important. So
that actually was going to be my next question: is what is a good time to talk for men? Not before work, not right after work, not before you going, but when is a good time for us to communicate with you guys so we can go into details?
Quiet.
Kara, look,
a good time. Really, this gonna sound so cliche. And people make time. I don't want to see a race.
have your
Scheduled time.
But yeah, you're going to make time to talk about that conversation because now it's affecting us. But there's general like speaking and
because you could be in the same house and like literally not have time for each other because there's so much going on. Like I mean, in our household, we can be tending to the kids or whatever. Like we really don't have that time to be like check in. It's almost like a check in. Like when can a check in possibly take place?
You put that in the calendar somehow.
I mean, yeah,
it's hard. I mean, day to day life is hard.
Right.
I mean, that's
there's other factors that
hard.
play into it. Like you have kids, you have other things going on.
I mean,
You have
work schedule, work schedule, church, like business.
yeah,
like,
but we are not married single people.
No,
We are
not
married
at all.
people that we are I don't even want to coexist together. I want to be married. I want to be one. I want to have
Right, and
have that
that's
union.
the thing. Like you were saying, you got to make time. You got to make date nights. You got to make this. You got to make that. Because if not, what we do will consume us, and it'll consume y'all as well. Like it's just as busy as we are, y'all are. Even if it's something that you want to do personally, it's still something that's a consumption of time.
Yeah.
So you have to be intentional, like you said, about what you're doing to make sure that we have that time.
Right.
And that's communication.
Intentional. So we're not even gonna talk about this weekend about being intentional. We're not gonna talk about this weekend about being intentional.
Let's talk about it, babe.
Let's talk about it. All right. So this weekend, no, it's nothing. So what happened? Got an email from the Funny Bone. With some free tickets. So I was like, oh, okay. So put some free tickets in. Hey, we can go to the Funny Bone on Saturday night. And then on Thursday, I was like, well, what you got going on? Because most of the time, she fills up her schedule because she said I'm busy, which is true. I'm either working, or working.
Right.
But anyway, long story short, I was like, okay, here's what we're gonna do. On Friday, what if we watch House Party? The new House Party. So we watched House Party. So we chilled in the house. It was just intentional time where we watched the movie, had a good time. Cool. She got out of work yesterday. After work yesterday, we went to the comedy show. Super funny. She enjoyed herself. She was glad it went. And as a matter of fact, we tried the Cinnaholic place on. It was good. The strawberry crumble.
Oh yeah, it was good. It was so good.
Oh, I forgot it, but when we left from down there, she said she had a taste for cinnamon. She said she had a taste for cinnamon rolls on Friday, and she burnt the cinnamon roll. We had no cinnamon rolls, but she was She was
crispy, man.
She was multitasking. But anyways, long story short, I was intentional about this weekend to say, hey. I didn't have a lot in my calendar. So I wanted to make sure that if I didn't have a lot on my calendar for that Saturday or any event or nothing like that, I try to make sure that, hey, we plan stuff out to make sure we do. Or what's your schedule? So that way, I'm not saying that you guys are not important to us. I won't even say pencil you in because that a lot of things. Whether or not you gonna.
I love language. I don't.
We need a lot. We just need like to have a or whatever the case. I'm in our bed. We was talking about online. Very intentional. Don't each other talk about what us. Go from there. I did depression and our communication came into play. He just looking with a straight face like.
Yeah.
I think we had those miscommunications in a lot of aspects, and when we started communicating, and I started communicating how I felt, where I was like, okay, babe, like I need a break because I mean, if I don't communicate that, then it's gonna be a boundary or it's gonna be a setback in our relationship because now I'm frustrated and I'm not communicating to him how I feel, and then he's coming to me asking me what's wrong, and I'm like, I'm okay, but really, am I? No, I'm not. So it's just a matter of like being able to communicate in all aspects.
A lot of friction, got no sparks, and then it's flame, boom.
Yeah.
So, but I like when you said like intentional because even though we want them to be intentional like of us, and we also have to be intentional when is a good time that we think from our perspective that we could bring something to them and say, you know, I kind of do want to kind of talk this thing out. Is it a good time? So I think I'm gonna take the intentional part back, and I'm gonna try really hard, babe. I am. I'm gonna try hard to be intentional because I know I could just and
yeah, because it does go both ways.
And it does. It goes both ways, and I want to be more intentional because I know you do have a full plate, and that's why you say, and you ain't got no girl. He did say that all the time. You ain't got no girls to talk about that. But I am gonna be more intentional. And then another, like, I never like schedules in a marriage because we married. I feel like we shouldn't need schedules, but maybe that's something that we can incorporate is a schedule.
Especially when you're both busy. Like, it's like now you really don't even know when y'all have the free time. So like when you ask that question about the free time, it's like, well, when do we have it? You will be able to tell more so if you did have like that type of calendar or something, like y'all shared y'all calendar on your phone, or you put it on like the actual fridge and like y'all kind of just see like, okay, like, oh, we got a kid free weekend coming up. Okay, like let's get excited about it. Or we got date night coming out. Now like it's almost like you setting the expectation for the weekend. Like now you can all start doing little things during the week that kind of like already put your head in a good space. Like, you know, and start to plan for stuff like that. And that's I always say, like, men don't only have to date us. Like, we can date the men too.
Right.
I mean, it may be like hard for them because pride is a terrible thing. But I mean, at the same time, you can still date.
You
like,
can date
both
your husband,
ways.
Yeah.
Like, because we want to still love on y'all the same way.
Yeah, make y'all feel
like
like kings. Walk around here with each other, the alphas.
kings.
You know, the alphas around here. So yeah, I love and dating my husband, making him feel great. You know, about himself. But I know the topic is communication.
Yes,
so that's
we'll
the
get
only.
back to it.
I know that's the only reason why I have brought that up. It is being intentional because we have to. Because if we are missing the signs that we think that we could just go in and just talk our husband's heads off, then we are wrong in that aspect. Because you cannot do that every single day, every single time. You can't. We have to be intentional with that moment.
Good takeaway. Good takeaway.
Very good. So,
good takeaway.
Jesus is alive.
so I guess I'll just throw this out there. So, let's talk about miscommunication in relationships. I think men, the way we communicate again is just sometimes misunderstood. Like, you can ask us something and we listen, or you can mention something to us and we listen. And I'll use this as an example. My wife, very creative. She created a website, right? And that's Prolific Designs for those that are online and want to know what I'm talking about. Go online, Prolific Designs, and
insert plug.
Order you some plug. So, and she said, this is how I'm gonna create this website and blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, cool, go for it. So she sends it to me, and I see it. So I ask a question. So when I ask the question, it's a whole. Well, why you ain't tell me this before you? Listen. I'm not saying anything is wrong with you. This is the we as men, we want to see our wives grow as well. So I ask a question because I want you to see where I'm coming from, or to see. This is just my way of communicating. It gets so many different ways of communicating. So if I say, well, so are you going to put a link on there to get to this, that, and the other? Well, why you ain't say that before? Like, no, I'm not. It's not. I'm not saying that you're wrong for what you're doing. I'm just saying that let's look at not avoiding this situation. So that means
sometimes
nothing.
You ask questions without just being direct as far as like what you're trying to tell me. And I think that's where the miscommunication comes into. Because it's like you're asking a question, but like you really are telling me like what are you trying to get across? Like, because once you told me like, oh man, I think you should like make sure that you put this up there. I was like, oh, okay, that's all you had to say.
Because I don't know what your intentions are.
Right. And then,
so I asked the question because I want to make sure I have clarity on what your intentions were with the way you done it.
I get that. I got it after the fact, but at that moment I was like,
so I guess we have to be careful with how we want them to ask us.
So now,
and how we respond.
There you go. That's what I'm getting at. So the way when we communicate something, because it didn't come out the way you said it didn't. You didn't hear it the way you said it should have been said. We didn't say the exact words that you should have been said. Now it's a miscommunication or it's a misunderstanding, but it's really not. It's just men communicate different than women. We may use different words than what y'all want to hear, but it does not mean that the world has ended every time we say something. So a lot of times men, us as men, because women are so emotional, we as men, sometimes we fall back when it comes to that, like what's wrong, and you say nothing, we fall back because we don't want to say something wrong that's going to trigger something or send you to that next level, because that's not what we want to see. We don't want to see the anger. Mm-hmm. One thing I would tell anybody about Kevin, I hate arguing. I don't want to argue about nothing.
Yeah.
But then if I got to do it, we're going to do it.
You're not gonna argue.
No, you're not. I'm not gonna argue. I can't do it. I don't argue.
But then I think about like when you say that, like. I mean, men and of course, y'all communicate a lot different from how we communicate. But then, like, how is there opportunities to adjust how you communicate to that person, because you know, like, they are going to receive it a different kind of way from what you would normally communicate it to somebody else?
It's not about how we communicate it to somebody else. It's just how men are wired. We are direct.
Like, I'm saying, like, if you know you're talking to me, like, there's a certain way that you have to talk to me in order to get your point across. Like, is there any way that you can actually adjust the way that you're going to say what you're going to say before you say it? Okay.
Well, how do we know what your emotions are that day to say?
Well, ask that first. Communicate.
So we don't. So and what I'm hearing is we don't know whether to be. They want us to be direct. But sometimes we have to be indirect to be direct because we don't know how their emotions are. Right. So we want to say what we really want to say, but then if we say what we really want to say, it may take them to another way. So I'm gonna make it in the form of a question, so that way it's almost like I'm making it so it's like your thought process. Yeah. So I'm trying to think like you in order to get on your level, but.
Yeah, don't patronize me. Don't do that.
Like me, I don't like rhetorical questions.
Yeah,
like, it's not rhetorical. Like, it's not a rhetorical question.
Well, sometimes it can be, and it's like almost like you checking my temperature. But you shouldn't have to like
trying to check your temperature. I ain't trying to go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Sorry, online listeners.
Check it. But I mean, go ahead.
So like sometimes, like even when you're talking to your friends, like you're gonna communicate differently. Like I'm not talking to Maxine, I'm gonna communicate differently to her than I would to you.
Right.
So it's just like, how can you differentiate the two, like, as men, because it seems like y'all have a hard time like differentiating how you talk to people.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
cut it off. Yeah.
Maybe I said something wrong earlier. Now I'm gonna tell you something. If I talk to you like I talk to these cats at work, you'll leave me. And I'm not saying that I go out there cussing them out.
It's almost still the same in a sense. Like you still have that same, like, because you've been, like, I always say this, like, Kelby's been a coach all his life for the most part. He's been a referee. He's been this person that's been like, okay, I have to tell you, and I have to be very stern when I tell you how I feel. So, and I feel like that's kind of transitioned into our relationship. in a sense, because like now you still communicate in that way where it's like you still have that coach mentality. But then how can you change that to the person that you're dealing with? That's what I'm saying.
Okay, well, let me ask this then. Okay, I got it. Now, can the way we communicate, can it be because of our upbringing?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, I joke a lot. And a lot of times I'll say something, I'll be at home and I'll say something, and I can be joking 138% of a joke, and she may not see it as a joke. I'm like, I'm just playing. Like, you didn't get serious about it. I'm just joking. Not in the world.
But right, that's who you are as a person. Yeah, I get that. But at the same time, like, when do you kind of be like, okay, well, like, this might set her off, or this is like something that might not come across the same way that I would with anybody else? Because like everybody communicates differently. Everybody receives things differently. So how can you differentiate the two when you're talking to different people? I feel like you kind of just have this broad spectrum of like, I'm going to talk to everybody the same way because this is who I am. But at the same time, like, you got to differentiate, like, where I'm talking to my wife, I'm talking to my kids, like, so I'm going to talk to them this way.
Yeah, I agree.
You know,
it is.
Yeah, so that's all I'm saying. Like, you know, that's all I'm saying. Just like, you know, how do you differentiate from the different relationships? Like, you should be able to adjust to that person and how you communicate to them versus just still having that same mindset where, like, okay, I get it. This is who I am, but my deliverance and my tone should be different in a sense. That's all I'm saying.
I say that a lot about my husband. I say, don't analyze me because he's an analyst at his job. Mm-hmm. So don't talk to me like you trying to analyze me. Just talk to me.
So, okay, yes, I get it. I hear you. And I try not to do it. But it's almost like this. And this is just me, guys. And maybe that's my analytical brain and what I do on a day-to-day.
That's the right term, not analytical.
But here's the thing. You can't tell me that you want a house, but you don't tell me the requirements or specifications that you want in a house. So now I got to go elicit the requirements out of you to kind of figure out, to tell you whether or not this can work or whether this cannot work. But if you come to me with enough detail, then I can already come to you and say, oh, well, that's not saying it's great, but okay, yeah, we can work with that. But you just say, yeah, I just want a house. Oh, what's your budget? What you trying to do?
Well,
and
you
now
very
I have
detailed.
to say it again.
That goes with knowing your spouse with the communication piece. Because you are very detailed, I've learned that I can't come to you with just half the information. I have to come to you from A all the way to Z. Now you're going to take that information and you're going to go back. So that's something that I learned about you. But when you are speaking with me, is not the same.
That's almost like saying like men aren't emotionally available in a sense to me, because it's like we tell y'all something and then it's like y'all want it a different kind of way, or y'all perceive it, or y'all translate it a different kind of way back to us. So like, how can y'all be more emotionally available so the conversation is like reciprocal both ways? Because like she's saying to you, like, you know, it's got to be more. She comes to you in an analytical way, and then it's like you perceive it or you say something differently back. Like, how do we get to that point of being like emotionally?
Just tell me what you want me to say, and that's what I say.
But
no, we don't want that.
I mean, that's real talk. I mean, because I don't at certain points I don't know what you want me to say. At certain points you want me to say this, but then if I say this, well, this worked the last time, so I'm gonna say this. But then I come back and use it again
because it's not a one size fit all situation. Again, it goes back like I put up here. I think it depends on the topic. Some topics, yeah, I want you to be that emotional person with me. I want you to be upset with me. Sometimes, yeah, I want you to. You ain't got to shed a tear or something, but I want you to feel my emotions. I want you to feel what I'm going through in that moment. Okay. Now, other conversations that I may not want you to be so emotional, and then yeah, you could tell me your perspective because maybe I'm not looking at it from a logical standpoint. So then you could bring that in. But if I'm coming to you and I'm upset, and I'm like this going in, I don't need you to sit there and fix it for me. I need come on my level for just a little bit.
All right.
It's like,
all right.
Just a moment.
Just be there emotionally. Have that emotional kind of little soft edge to you.
Okay.
But then you can kind of just be like, babe, it's okay. Like, we say, babe, it's okay. But y'all just go into the moment of just being like, well, this is what we're going to do. We're going to fix it. Like, it's like, right. Y'all are already there.
Yeah.
But y'all don't really have that moment of like, it's okay, babe.
You
like, when does the it's okay, babe, come in?
You remember this cartoon?
Or the hug. Like, babe, let me just give you a hug. It looks like after that conversation, you
did a hug. Yeah, this
I might
emotion.
break down,
yes, yes, this emotion. Right. It's like we giving you all these dots, and you just right down a straight line. Boom. Right. Here it is.
Okay.
Give us, you remember that cartoon back in the day called Blue's Clues?
Blue's Clues.
Just give us some clues.
But we telling you the whole story. We telling you how we feel.
Exactly.
Like,
but tell us
when y'all need us to be. Baby, listen. All I need right now is.
No.
That's being.
We shouldn't have to tell you to be emotional with your spouse or with whoever you are emotionally connected to.
It's a matter of.
We've been together for so how long?
But it's a matter of, as you guys just said, there's times when you want us to be emotional, and there's times when you don't want us to be emotional. Yeah. So tell us, well, I guess all the time be emotional. So tell us when you want us to be more emotional than others.
Kind of like easing it in a way, but
so that way we know. Okay, all right. Well, this seems to be like.
Calvin, pick your head up, Calvin.
Almost like give me a wink, give me a clue.
Yeah,
help
we love,
me.
We love look at it like this. We love a strong man, but we love for our man to be fully vulnerable, emotional to us. Like, you ain't gotta sit there and cry like she said, but we just want you to be like show us that you got if we pinch you gonna feel it. That's what we want. Like, just a little bit of that.
This a little. I guess it goes to also that just having those friends, those girlfriends, so they can be like, girl, I just can't believe, girl, I'm with you on that, and then just take the rest of it back to the husband and be like, all right, so babe, this is what's going on. So now we done got all the emotion stuff out the way, then maybe we could.
I don't like that too much. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't want y'all to depend on nobody else because you shouldn't have to depend on anyone else.
So that means that you're gonna be more emotional then.
When you tap into those emotions. With your significant other for the fact that they are emotional beings.
Yeah, because that's the can you just open, Calvin?
How many? Okay, so women, live and online and everywhere else. It's so no. Men are very hard, and I get y'all want so much more from us. Your expectations, we don't meet your expectations at times when it comes to communication or communicating things or being there emotionally. And it softens my heart to hear y'all say this today because but for real, because we don't. That's not our intent. It's not our intent. I'm gonna speak for all the men online today. y'all better have my back too. I'm telling y'all right now. Y'all better put something in the comments. Say that's right. You better say it, Kevin. Listen, we want to be that pillow. We want to be that shoulder that you can lean on, that you can cry on, you can snot on our clothes, whatever you got to do if you're having an emotional day. But I don't think most guys gonna sit there and shed a tear with you.
No.
Right.
All right. Now, say,
and that goes back to the other question. Okay, when is a good time?
Okay, so even this. So when we go to you to have a conversation, or you come there and say, listen, baby, I just need you to be there. I just need you to listen to me. I just need you right now for this. Say that. How many times have your husband said, baby, listen to me. Don't get upset. I don't want you. We're telling you, we're giving you the keys right now. We're giving this. Listen, I'm about to tell you something, but I don't want you to get upset. Or I'm about to tell you something. I just want you to listen to me right quick. I don't want you ain't got to say nothing. We give those tools out because if you desire something, then what's wrong with helping get to what you do? If you desire something from God, what you do, you pray about it. Mm-hmm. And you say, God, I need you to. It's okay. You can ask God for everything that you need. but you won't ask your husband to be emotional for you or to be there for me when I need you most. And God put that man in your life for that reason, so you can come to him.
So you're saying just be more outspoken.
Be outspoken.
And just say,
communicate those things.
This is not one of those conversations where I just need to just
I don't need an answer. I just need you.
Okay.
But we always need y'all.
But sometimes you come to us for an answer.
Right.
So it's just communication. It's just the way you communicate to a man and the way a man communicates to a woman. That's all it is.
Right. It's almost like tell us when you just really want us to listen. Because our mindset is always to solve.
Always.
Right.
It's because we don't want to see y'all hurt. We don't want to see y'all anybody mistreat you in any type of way. Because if someone mistreats you in any type of way, then whoa.
We got problems.
Major problems, big fella. So what's going to happen is, as long as now the only time there's a problem is when we cause a problem. Then we got to fix ourselves. Ourselves as men per se.
Right.
Yeah.
But if somebody outside of us hurt you, it's on the popping. Oh, wait a minute. They did what? They did this. All right. So right now that relationship is severed.
Yeah.
We're not doing this no more.
Just give us a chance.
Just give us a chance, or just let us know in advance. Not I said let us know in advance, but just kind of let us know and say, okay, hey, but don't do this though. Don't do this. Don't do this, ladies. Don't do this, ladies. Don't say that you really want us to listen, but you really still want us to respond. Because
we want you to respond,
of
but
course.
we just don't want you to be. Yeah, we don't
Not
want you
right away.
We don't want you sitting there quiet and just like listen to us. Like we want you to respond in an emotional way.
But it could be something where you just need to get off your chest. Like I didn't need this.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
But then still have that soft response.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, we gon' you know what? It seems like for the whole 55 minutes or so that we've been talking, it seems like
Hasn't been that long?
it's almost been like us. So I'm gonna flip it back around. But when we give you a response that even if you don't like, I need you to swallow that pill even if you don't want it.
Or maybe we just need to communicate better and say like, babe, I didn't want to hear that right then. I wanted a little bit more emotions. Will you give us that?
It's a difference between you to set you back from what you're trying to do because you didn't handle that emotions properly.
But then you just hear what you just said. You said you're making an emotional decision. Well, we're not asking you to make an emotional decision. We just ask you to be emotional with us. Like you don't have to think emotionally.
Is this what when y'all communicate and y'all say emotional? Because maybe we're not understanding what it is. So you're saying that if you come in that's like, you want us to be like, oh, baby, it's all right. It'll be okay. Just don't worry about it, or don't
say don't worry about it, but like you still rationally thinking.
No, I like the baby. No, it's low. I say all this stuff. They go through very much. Okay, I ain't looked at it like that. It's so
Let's listen to our fiancés, girlfriends, or your significant other, and let's be more intentional about how we respond to things that they may have, to situations that they're going through. And we hoping that our women have learned something as well, and they will be more verbal in what they want from us as men, so that we aren't so harsh when they want us to be soft.
Yeah.
So we've learned a lot. I think this was great.
More intentional.
I think there's a lot more that we can talk about when it comes to communication. This was more so of a emotional communications through emotion, but we have so many other ways of communicating about so many other things. So I think, we'll see what the critics may say, but I think we made it go to a part 2.
And we may have to go to a part 2.
Definitely put your comments.
Yeah, so y'all let us know what we need to do.
Yeah, because I'm over here, like, I'm just talking, and boy, Kelby over here talking, but my wife over here got a pad of paper writing down notes.
Yes.
And Carol over here keep unlocking her phone and typing in her notepad. They once again, they taking notes trying to figure out where we going at, and we just responded to what what comes our way. But yeah. So I think it can be a part 2. So like they say, man, drop some comments in there.
Yeah.
Some things that we may not have addressed or may not have touched on, we can run it back and address that from a different perspective. So anything that y'all would like to hear, hit us up.
This was all over the place right here. This was good.
It was good. It definitely was.
We're all
Yeah, I mean, communication is tough.
It's a big
tough
topic.
subject. So So we had this topic came from one of the listeners, and we said we're gonna touch on it, but young lady that gave this topic, we didn't know it was gonna be this intense. So we'll try it again. And you know who you are.
Yeah.
Right. Cause we haven't talked about one of the big parts of communication that we will definitely have to talk about in part 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about it in part 2. We ain't gonna tell you today.
Yeah. Okay. Cause it was a cliffhanger.
Yeah, it was on the flyer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. It's a 3-letter word.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We might have to put a part 2 today because they was talking about sex.
So yeah, we'll hit a part 2 of that one. But
that's gonna be a part 3, a part 2.5 after that one. But listen, y'all. Again, we thank y'all for tuning in.
Yes.
And Val, y'all tell the people something.
Yeah, but definitely like, share, subscribe on all of our channels. Get connected with us. We're going to be sharing. We're going to be live every Sunday at 6 o'clock. So we want you to be engaged with us. We want you to tune in. Grab your glass. Put whatever you want in it. It doesn't matter. But just engage with us. I mean, we're going to be live on YouTube and Facebook. So connect with us and just be present. We're here. We're ready to talk about whatever y'all want to talk about. Get in those comments.
Yeah.
I got a laptop here so we can always see what y'all talking about or what y'all got to say. So just get connected with us and we'll always be here to hear y'all out.
Yeah, absolutely. I echo everything that was said at the table. And I thoroughly enjoyed this conversation on communication because, I do talk a lot, but I'm trying. But what I took back from it was being intentional on when to elaborate on certain topics. That's really not a priority at that moment, maybe for that day. But comment, share, holla at your girl, Monty. And that way we can address all the comments. We can address all the topics that you're putting under this video when it get posted.
It's already on
the video. So y'all go ahead.
Oh my Lord
Jesus! It's okay, but yeah, I think we learned a lot.
We learned a lot anyway.
Yeah, so it's some things that we were doing before that we gotta
do better
at,
and we ain't leaving the table upset or mad.
Yeah, we're not mad. And there's some things that we can we can
work on.
So now you're trying to finish my sentence. But there's some things that we can reintroduce some of the things that we were doing before, but now that the days are a little bit longer, we can get back to walking and doing some of those things where we can have those conversations.
Schedule on the refrigerator.
Sex on the refrigerator.
Schedule on the refrigerator.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. Okay, well.
I got nervous.